welcome to episode 33 of the Zeens and Roger Crochet vlogcast. How are you? You alright? I'm okay. It's a bit thin on crochet news this time round. Don't go away though, because there is crochet chat, don't worry. But I haven't actually been doing a great deal of anything new because I've been writing up all the stuff that I've already talked about previously. So the new shawl, I spent a long time writing that up in the week. And it takes me such a long time because I get very easily distracted and I don't want to do it. If I could pass my notes over to somebody else who would type it up, then that would be ace, because it's just awful. I just want to make stuff, so I kind of have to really force myself to sit down and type it up. And then also, if I don't have a specific deadline, I might have talked about this before, if I don't have a specific deadline, I find it very hard to be motivated and actually get on and do it, because I'll find, yeah, I've talked about this before, I find excuses very easily. Anyway, so I've been doing a lot of that, but that does mean that I've managed to get another pattern up onto Ravelry, because this is one of the things that I procrastinated with. I instead of doing the one that was actually urgent and I'd promised a tech editor by such and such a time, a vague promise, I actually wrote, I drew a chart for a completely different pattern and then sort of polished that up instead. Anything to put off this one, which I'm not going to talk about because there's no point, but Rapture. I'm trying to show you a nice bit. It's called Rapture. And I've sent it off to the tech editor now. And fingers crossed, we're on our way. Anyway, I'm not talking about that one right now. What we'll talk about is Emergence of Spring, which I haven't talked about for a long time because it was released as a pattern in issue 99 of Inside Crochet magazine about 4 months ago now, and I talked about it then, but that was released blah blah blah, and that particular contract with that magazine means that I can release it as an independent pattern 3 months after publication, and that's what I've done. So this pattern is now on Ravelry, and it's a lovely wrap or scarf. You can just wear it as a scarf if you wish, or a shawl type thing, a stole, a shawl, a wrap. However, I like to wear it like this. This is nice and cosy, and it's a pattern using a double knit wool of some sort that I can't remember, by Blacker Yarns. All the information's on the pattern. It's now up on Ravelry, and until the 4th of July there's 20% off. So I'll put the link in the show notes as usual, but I still really like it, and I've got the yarn to make a winter sequel, but actually I want to make the autumn sequel, like part of a series, a seasonal series of 4 shawls. I want to make the autumn one first because I've swatched that one and it looks lovely, and I'm very excited about it, and I'm hoping that if I can make some money on this one, it means I can afford the yarn to pay for the yarn for the autumn one. I could just make the winter one, seeing as I've got the yarn already, but I don't want to. The autumn one is where it's at for me. That's what I'm quite excited about. Sorry about somebody's... Do you reckon it's a strimmer? It might be a chainsaw. I'm not sure. Hopefully it's not too loud. It sounds like there's 2 of them. So anyway, there's yeah, I really like that one. I was so proud of it, wasn't I? When I did it, I was well chuffed. I still am actually. It's really pretty. And the winter one is going to be very similar to that, only more. And then the autumn one and the summer one. I haven't worked on the summer one yet. I haven't decided, but the autumn one is completely different. Just sort of the tonal colours will hopefully tie in with that one, as well as a few stitch details that will mirror or match in some way without actually being anything like the final outcome of that one. Yes. So I thought I'd tell you about that one. And I've finished Holy Smokes 2, the sequel to Holy Smokes. They've all got sequels. I don't know what to call this one, whether I should just call it like Holy Smokes 2 or Holy Smokes the sequel. I can't make up my mind, or even something completely different, because it's a different shape. It uses the same stitches in this bit and this bit as the original, but the shaping is slightly different and the edging is different. I haven't blocked it yet. I was going to block it before I showed you, but I haven't. I forgot. It's just been sat in my basket. So it's done. And do you know what? I think this one is so... I love this one. It's... I don't know. I almost did it so much better than the first one, but it's just different. It's not better, it's just different. And I really like... It's just got a very simple but pretty edging. And I started doing the chart for this one yesterday, but I sort of got halfway and went, do you know what, I'll do it in stages rather than one full whammy, because I end up getting in a bit of a tiz. So I have to do things in stages, but I really like it. I've got this much left. I've got this much left of one of those 200-gram cakes of the Shapeless Whirl, and it's dark grape squish, and I didn't get to the very last colour, but I was too scared to carry on with a slightly bigger border, because what happens if somebody else who's making it has a looser gauge, then they'll run out before the end. So I felt like I couldn't take a risk and go for another row. So I've missed out on the very last colour, which is essentially plain black. However, I don't think it matters, because I wanted to get the dark edge, and I've got it regardless of having that deep black. So I'm happy. I'm very happy with this, and I think it will look even better when it's blocked. And having one of these gradient yarns makes life so much easier. Don't get me wrong though, I actually really enjoy playing with different yarns and different colours and fading them. I think that's a good challenge. It's good fun. And sometimes I don't want that work taken away from me, I suppose. I like doing all of that myself rather than having, you know, a pre-bought gradient yarn. So it's each to their own, and this way, having two different versions means that there are choices and options, and that's always a good thing. So eventually that one will be written up. I've already started, as I said, started the chart, and I have started the rewrite of the other one, but I haven't taken any photographs because it's not blocked or anything. So at some point I'll get around to that. I've booked myself onto a continental knitting workshop. I think it's probably just the easiest way of doing it, because I would like, as I've said, I would like to be a knitter as well as a crocheter. I don't think it'll ever be my first love, but I'd like to have that diversity. So in August I've booked, it's just a 2-hour workshop on a Saturday afternoon, but I'm quite looking forward to it. I did watch a YouTube video on it, and I learnt how to knit continental style, but purl just looked a bit too bamboozling, and I thought, do you know what, let's give this a go. I've never been on a workshop before, and I know loads of you go on workshops all the time, and so I thought it was about time I did one as well. And also in the future I'd like to give workshops, so if I go on workshops I'll get lots of experience and knowledge about how they work and how they're run, and also have fun and meet new people. I think that's pretty good. But for a crocheter, I really think that continental knitting is the way to go, because you hold the yarn as I found that you hold the yarn the same way as you do when you're crocheting. So, i.e., if you're right-handed, hold in your left hand to pick up the stitch or pick up the yarn and work it, rather than wrapping it around the needle with your right hand. It's quicker, and I think as a crochet it's easier to get your head around. So that's the aim, and I figured that if I do this and I don't knit between now and then, it's probably easier, because you don't want to learn and get confident one way and then have to reprogram your brain completely to start a new way. So I'll let you know how that goes, but I'm quite excited about it. But it's in a wool shop in Exeter that I've never been to, because I know that if I go I'll spend a fortune, and so I've not allowed myself to go because spending money. But yeah, and then then I'll be a knitter. Other than that, I've not really been up to much recently. As I said, I mean, yeah, I've started on a commission, which I'm going to undo because the hook size I'm using is too big. So I'll undo that and start again, and that's going to be my main project for the next week. I think that's sort of that's for 3 or 4 months' time. So I'm very aware that my cheeks are very pink. I don't know why. I suppose it's because it's a warm day. And the other thing that I did it yesterday, and I did it, I think, on Tuesday. I can't remember, but I filmed a tutorial. Did I say already? Because no, I didn't. When I was writing up Rapture, I decided that a video tutorial was pretty much a must, actually, because it's really with crochet, I think the trickiest bits are always the stitches on the ends, and that's what I wanted to show rather than write. I think probably visually it's a better way of learning those edges. So I've videoed a tutorial for it, and it's been a nightmare. It's been a horrible. I kept messing it up and had to re-record, and I edited it all together this morning. There's about 20 pieces of footage that I've had to put together, and it's made me so tired. I mean, the boys have been waking up at 5:30 anyway, and I was doing this at about 6 o'clock this morning, and I'm knackered, absolutely knackered. And it demonstrates how you do the stitches, but in a really kind of boring way. It's not a fun tutorial. I mean, I'm not suggesting that all my tutorials are fun by any means, but and whilst it shows you what you're supposed to do, I don't know. I didn't enjoy doing it. It made me cry. It didn't make me cry. It just really got on my nerves. Needless to say, I didn't enjoy filming the tutorial. It took too long. There were too many bits to put together, and I think what you want to do when you're filming a tutorial is make it as succinct as possible and really super clear. And I'm a waffler. I like to talk, and I don't want to sort of poison the essential elements by unnecessary information. And trying to get that balance was really hard. But I hope I've achieved it, even if it's not like the most professional video you've ever seen. It doesn't have to be professional, it just has to show you what you need to know. So fingers crossed it has done that. Anyway, moving on. I feel like I'm literally like grasping at straws here to try and find something to talk about. I'm not in a particularly chatty mood today. It's not going very smoothly. The video keeps cutting out, and I think it's probably because it's such a sunny day outside that the camera's being flooded with too much information, like light information, and it doesn't like it, so it keeps switching off. I'm not particularly talking about anything interesting when it switches off. Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe it's switching off in protest because I'm so boring today. I don't know. If I keep let me. I've got nothing to say. What shall I swiftly say? I'm going to do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. I hit 3,000 subscribers fairly recently, and I'm going to give away a couple of patterns to say thank you very much for hanging out with me all the time, even if I'm boring and the camera doesn't even like it. So all you need to do is be a subscriber and comment below. You can say anything. I don't care, as long as it's not horrible. Don't be horrible. And I will choose a comment probably at random. I'm not going to choose a favourite comment. Or I was going to say I could choose 2 winners, a favourite comment and one at random. So don't just go, oh, I really like your podcasts, which is lovely to hear, but pep it up a bit for a chance to win 2 patterns that I have on Ravelry, like paid for patterns that I have on Ravelry. And then in 2 weeks' time, whenever that may be, next podcast, vlogcast, calendar, where are you? Calendar, right. So in 2 weeks' time, it will be, is it the 22nd? It's the 22nd today. It'll be the 6th of July. That's when I'll draw a winner. So comment by then for a chance to win a couple of patterns. Just to say thanks. And that is it. Oh my god. No, it's not. It's not. I've got one more thing to talk about, but you don't have to hang around for that because it's basically me trying to sell you stuff. So you might not be interested in that. You know how, you've probably seen, if you're on Instagram and actually on YouTube as well, you'll have seen a lot of us going on about Knit Crate. And I'll be completely honest, I'd never heard of them, and they got in touch and asked me if I would be interested in trying out a couple of their monthly yarn box thingies. And I put it off for ages because I'd never heard of them. I didn't know who they were, so I didn't know if they were reputable. Sorry. But I did some digging, and I asked a couple of other people that had been asked to be affiliates, I think they're called, and I was assured that it was you know, really nice yarn, and it was legit. So I succumbed, and I said I would sign up, and basically I'm not going to give you a hard sell because I don't approve of that, but I'm just going to show you what I got, if that's all right. And it's that. I got that. This is my first box, and I'm going to get 3 in total, I think, just to try it out and tell you that it's not horrible, just in case you'd heard of them and you had a slight interest. If I suppose if I'm here to sort of go, yeah, go for it, try it. I don't know, but this is really nice. I'm very impressed. You've probably missed, I don't know if you've missed the chance for the June one. This is the June one, which is a summery one. That's the label. They do loads of different boxes as well, and I'm going to put a link and some pictures of my yarn on the show notes rather than read off here. If you're interested, you can go and you can just click over and I'll just put a couple of lines. But if I just reel off that information now, you're not going to be interested. But, oh, well, you might be, sorry. Crochet pattern and a knitting pattern, that's what you get. Which I quite like the stitch of that, but I don't like the wrap thing. The shaping of it's not me. I wouldn't make it for myself, but I really like the stitch pattern they've used. But yeah, there's details of a discount as well, which I'm sure you've seen on other people's IG and YouTube channels. everybody's giving it the 1-2 at the minute, aren't they? But you get, if you go through me or anybody else, if you do it on your first one, you get a discount. And I think they said that I'd get money as well if I managed to like sort of lure people in. But I imagine it's probably like 1p per box signed up for, isn't it? It's not going to be like masses. I'm not going to be a millionaire, am I? But I'm not sure. You see, I mean, I wasn't going to do it, and then I was just like, but I want the ball. So yeah, I have succumbed, and yeah. I may make something out of it soon, but I might not. It's beautiful yarn. I think this is, I don't think you can get it anywhere else other than Knit Crate. I don't know. Yeah, it's exclusive to Knit Crate. It's superwash merino, 15% nylon and 10% cashmere. Cashmere! It's nice. But I've got no inspiration at the moment because red is not my colour. Does red suit me? I don't know. I'm just going to pop it out of the way for now, and then I reckon something will jump out at me at some point. I did make a red scarf once out of just some like acrylic 4-ply, because Karen Gillan had a long red scarf on a Doctor Who episode once. So I made a red scarf, but I never wore it. Well, I know that's not true. I did wear it, but actually I didn't like it because it was acrylic and it wasn't in the deep depths of winter. It wasn't warm. It just wasn't warm. Whereas that probably I could recreate it, and it would be warm because it's got wool in it. Wool. Pardon me. Sorry, that's so rude. Right, I think I'm done. It's short this week, wasn't it? Boom. Talked about that. Yeah, give us a comment for the subscriber giveaway, just to say thank you, and that's it. That was quick, wasn't it? Sorry. And hopefully I will be back on it next time. Oh, I haven't finished this either. I'm sorry. I've done nothing on it. It's just been sat there for 2 whole weeks with nothing done on it. I don't like it anymore. Right, I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Cheerio. Bye bye.